Welcome to the Central Illinois Business Leaders Podcast, where business owners, thought leaders, and community champions from across Central Illinois come to share their story. The Central Illinois Business Leaders Podcast. Anything less would be uncivilized.
What's up, Central Illinois? I'm Derek Hayden. I'm your host for the Central Illinois Business Leaders Podcast, powered by Zambu. Zambu is a delicious grapefruit or wildberry vodka-based spirit infused with a Brazilian buzz button. It's smooth, tasty, and leaves you with a signature tingle. Learn more at zambuliquors.com. Zambu, taste the tingle. All right, Central Illinois, today's guest is the Chief Storyteller for the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes. Ladies and gents of Central Illinois, please welcome Jamie Toole. How are you doing, Jamie?
I'm terrific, Derek. How are you today? Good?
Doing very well. I'm pumped up to talk a little bit of baseball with you. So before we do that, though, Jamie, I'm going to run you through our speed round questions to break the ice a little bit.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Awesome. Okay, first question. What was the first concert you ever attended?
Oh, I think it may be the band Alabama.
Alabama. That's a good one. I like it.
South Carolina's Hurricane Hugo. But anyway, speed round. We got to keep it up. But coincidentally, I'm going to go see him at the end of this month again. So 30 years later.
I like it. What is your favorite movie?
Oh, God. I hate to say this out loud, but it's The Notebook. My wife would give me a hard time. You can laugh at me, but I love the movie The Notebook.
Nice. Hey, I appreciate your honesty.
There's no shame in my game, Derek.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Well, that also is a unique peach. I love peach ice cream. As a kid growing up, we used to make homemade peach ice cream. So peach ice cream is my favorite.
I like it. Are you an iPhone or Android user?
I'm an iPhone through and through.
I like that too. What is your favorite social media platform?
I'm a Twitter guy. I like it. I like there's a lot of chaos, but I like just find the news. So I like Twitter the best.
Great. And last question, why Central Illinois?
The greatest people on the planet live in the Midwest. We moved here from West Palm Beach, but we love it. And minor league baseball, Springfield needs something vibrant, and we're building this thing up to be something special. So that's why.
Awesome. I like it. Well, you made it through pretty easy on those, Jamie. So it seemed like you practiced, but I'll take your word for it that you weren't ready for it.
Well, I can't wait for my wife to hear this. She's going to give me a hard time about some of these answers, but they're authentic. So that's the way you got to do it, right?
Awesome. Yep. I like it, man. Well, hey, at this point, Jamie, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. If you could kind of share your story, where you came from, how you got to where you are now, anything in between that you'd like to share, you take it over.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited. I've been doing this baseball thing for 20 plus years. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, huge South Carolina Gamecock. Got my start in baseball working for the Capital City Bombers. They were a minor league team in the New York Mets organization, and
cool.
became what they call a ballpark rat. And that you just love being at the ballpark, and pretty much done it all, from selling concessions to the speed pitch to ticketing and sponsorships. And during the pandemic, my wife and I were in West Palm Beach. I worked for the St. Louis Cardinals and the Miami Marlins. We ran Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium.
Cool.
With a group of folks. I worked for the Marlins in the minor league season as the GM for the Jupiter Hammerheads, and my wife worked for a Nestle-based company. And honestly, we just felt a calling to do something more meaningful, and felt like we had a lot to offer. And one day I got the nerve to say, hey, I think we should buy a baseball team. And without missing a beat, she said, that sounds fun. Let's do it. So then we're like, how the heck do you buy a baseball team? She didn't say heck, but I'm going to use that for the friendly viewing audience.
Absolutely.
So we celebrated over a couple ice cold natty lights, which I love. She's more of a rosé fan.
Okay.
And we said, okay, how do you buy a baseball team? So we went to work and started looking into how to do that. And taking a step back, we had followed the Savannah Bananas and what they were doing, and how they were making baseball way more entertaining and engaging. back during that 2020 year, it wasn't just with the pandemic. There was some social issues, and there was a real gridlock. You mentioned social media. You would get on there and it'd be like, I hate this person and all these things. And we just felt like we needed to bring people together. And when people come to the ballpark, we don't ask who you vote for, what your position is on XYZ. We're here to have a good time. Cold beer, warm hot dogs, and baseball and summer nights. And so I've worked from independent baseball to affiliated baseball. I worked for 3 different major league teams, but I would tell you that Springfield Lucky Horseshoes, what we're doing now, is the most fun I've ever had. Just love it. Love everything that we get to do here. So that's awesome. Hopefully I gave you enough information in that. I'm happy to answer any follow-up questions that you may have.
Excellent. Well, I'm pumped up. So I'm a baseball guy myself. Have the opportunity to play college baseball. Played some summer league baseball with the Great Lakes League.
Okay.
I played for the Southern Ohio Copperheads, if you're familiar with them. But it was one of the most fun summers I've had in my life. I mean, still at this point, it's tough to beat that. And I think it's because exactly what you hit on, Jamie. It was a minor league baseball atmosphere. It was more of an entertainment time than a baseball game.
And that's exactly what our recipe is, Derek.
Excellent.
We believe that, hey, bring people together, have a good time. The players love it. They love the engagement, having a good time. This from being a college baseball player. You're basically 365 working on your game. When you have the opportunity and you're blessed to play at a college sport, it's not a seasonal type role, right? You're doing that 365, and there's not a few days or times that you have off. And these kids are cranking it up in late January and going all the way through the summer, and then doing it right again, starting with fall baseball. So the one thing I tell our guys is I want them to have fun. I want them to have, I want them to represent the organization good, but I want to have a good time. It's summer ball. You're here to have fun, enjoy that people paid their hard-earned money to come watch you play baseball. That in and of itself is super special. So I'm glad to hear you're had a good time in your experience, and we've heard good things from our first year, and excited to welcome a new group of horseshoes here in about 30 days or so.
That's awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about who the Horseshoes are, the Lucky Horseshoes. I know we talked a little bit about College Summer League. Tell us a little bit about the dynamics of where you're getting guys from, how long you play. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so our ownership group, Golden Rule Entertainment, acquired what was formerly the Springfield Sliders in the Prospect League. We came here in October of 2021, and very quickly we felt like the team wasn't super connected in the community, wasn't really connected to all different parts. I always say that minor league teams have a chance to be a community institution, not just a ballpark where there's 30 plus games. You have to show up. It's kind of like the players. It's a 365-day deal. Tonight we're going to do a celebrity bartending event and go out and do pocket schedules. You do the parades, you run the gauntlet as far as being active in your community. So we decided to rebrand the team, and that's where Lucky Horseshoes came from. I didn't know what a horseshoe sandwich was until I came here, and still debatable on whether that's a sandwich or not. Open face sandwich, I think they say it, but delicious. I'm what they call a Florida large and a Midwest XL, so too much savory food up here. I've had to ration my horseshoes to quarterly. So big fan of the buffalo chicken horseshoe, by the way, for any of those Central Illinois folks that frequent Springfield and get the horseshoe. But
awesome.
So we branded the shoes, announced the new name in February 17th, 2022, and just super blessed. We sold merchandise all 50 states. We're continuing to do some fun stuff with the merchandise, but from a player recruitment standpoint, we rely heavily on Andrew Miller, who works here in the office with us, and he's more of an analytical guy looking into these guys. And then Zach George and Clint Jeffers, our coaching staff, they have a lot to do with the recruiting of players. But mainly for us, looking for draftable guys. We want guys that have a chance to play at the next level. We'd love to build up a story of, hey, these guys play with the shoes, and now they're in all these different minor league organizations. And but we also want quality human beings, and we try to have a local flavor as well. We want kids that their families can come out and see them play. The Lincoln Land's got a good baseball program down here, and also University of Illinois Springfield. So we try to have good relationships with those folks. But again, it's super exciting, and I had a couple kids last year from a lot of junior college kids play in this league, and we had a kid transfer into South Carolina last year, which was really cool. We had a kid that was an Auburn commit come play for us. So very excited about this year, a new crop of young men coming into town, and it's fun to see them sort of develop through the summer and come out of their shell or come into who they are. They're in this shell when they get here, right? Like first day of school, and they're not showing their true personality. You give them like a week or 10 days, and those boys are just going around having a blast and being hams and being who they are.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm looking at your schedule here, so I'm trying to get a kind of an idea of who you guys play. What is the name of the league that you guys are in?
So we're in a league called the Prospect League.
Still in the Prospect League, okay.
Yeah, the Prospect League is sort of the second incarnation of what they call the Central Illinois Collegiate League. That's been around 30 plus years. The Prospect League came about when some teams from the Independent Frontier League sort of dipped out of that league and started the Prospect League. And we're up to 17 teams now, pretty wide footprint from all the way from Pennsylvania. We have Johnstown, Pennsylvania, down to Jackson, Tennessee, Cape Girardeau over to Clinton, Iowa. So it's a pretty big footprint, and we're blessed to sort of be right in the heart of that thing. Close to us would be O'Fallon, Missouri, Alton, Illinois, and then also Normal and Quincy, Danville here in Illinois. So a lot of Illinois flavor in this league for sure. That's
great. So you mentioned kind of earlier the cold beer and warm hot dogs. So tell us a little bit about the experience as far as food and what fans can expect if they come out to the ballpark, what they can get, as far as food, drinks, anything like that.
Well, that's the name of the game, right? Foodie, being a foodie and having cool merchandise. And we last year was our first year. We tried a little bit of everything. I think for us, the most successful thing was we partnered with a local brewery called Buzz Bomb, just awesome, great human beings, good product to create Lucky Lager, our custom beer.
Cool.
Which we have. I think I actually have one right here. I'll show you a little Lucky Lager.
Oh, so that's cool.
Our own team branded beer, which went over really, really well.
Awesome.
And then, of course, we're named the Horseshoes, so we got to have a horseshoe here. We have our own version of the horseshoe. We call it the walking shoe.
Okay.
And then the ballpark staples, right? You mentioned it, and I mentioned it earlier. You wanted to have the cold beer and the warm hot dogs, not the other way around.
Right.
Ballparks have it the reverse: warm beer and cold hot dogs. Not great for business. So this coming year, we're working on another custom beer with Springfield Beer Company, and then working on a lot of local flavors of folks in the region that we can sell their food and beverage, just to give ourselves a little bit more of a robust operation for offerings. Dippin' Dots, we have the beer bats, we have a lot of novelty food and beverage where basically people walk by and you say, where did they get that? I want one of those. And as a parent of 4 kids, I get that a lot, right? So, hey, where did they get that? I want that. And that's sort of a good marketing technique.
That's excellent. So do you have any type of like theme nights that you have prepared for the upcoming season? Like any dress up nights or dance nights, anything that the fans can expect when they come out?
Man, we do. I got to tell you, I'm fired up for this coming year. We put a lot of time and effort into building. Full disclosure, one of our owners, Jeff Jarrett, is a WWE Hall of Famer and currently works for AEW Wrestling. Third generation promoter. Last year we did a lot of guest appearances, and some of those worked, and some of those didn't go over too good. This year it's a lot more about fan experience groups. We do have a few guest appearances. But we kick it all off on May 27th. We actually do what we call a Legends game, Legends Classic 2, and that's former Cubs versus former Cardinals. And then we supplement the roster with local and regional celebrities. And just announced earlier this week, Andy Van Slyke is coming for the Cardinals. Brian Jordan is coming from the Cardinals. Ray Langford. On the Cubs side, we got Jamie Moyer. We got Kyle Farnsworth, and then another Cubs going to be announced here soon. So that's a really cool event. We had it in August last year, and it is our most well-attended event. Real fun for the community. And then the local celebrities all play for a local charity. So we're able to make a pretty sizable donation to those charities after the event. We kick off open today, May 31st with the shoes. 4 different theme night jersey giveaways off our back. We're doing a tribute to the Springfield Capitals, the old Frontier League champion from 1998. So brought back that brand, and we'll play as the Capitals for one night. We're going to do a what might have been night. What if the team hadn't been named the Shoes? What would they have been named? What would that look like? So that's super cool.
That's cool.
We have a really cool guy coming that went viral. A clogger, the clogger. His name is Zeb out of Asheville, North Carolina. He was on with Peyton Manning and Luke Bryan at the CMT Awards. So Zeb's going to come up from Asheville and show us how to clog. And
I know exactly who you're talking about now. Okay.
For folks listening, just Google Zeb Ross, I believe is his last name.
Yeah.
Zeb the clogger, and you're going to know because you've seen it. We've all seen him. Know that you've seen him. But he's coming out, and wow, I'm trying to look at the schedule, and a bunch of giveaways. Ray Langford bobblehead day, thanks to our guys at Green Family Stores here in Springfield. Lots of autograph opportunities for some regional celebrities, local celebrities, and a few surprises. We got to hold a few surprises back, and so we drip it out. But actually announce the promotional schedule next week, so I'm super excited to get that out.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome. That's, I hope that's getting a lot of excitement in the community because it's something unique that you get to go out. Everybody thinks of going out and watching baseball, but like you said, it's more than just baseball. It's the experience. One thing that kind of shifting gears from baseball to more of the business side of things, you mentioned the Savannah Bananas. Your title is Chief Storyteller. So tell us a little bit about your title and kind of your mentality around building the business side of things.
Sure. Yeah. So early on, I knew we didn't want to be conventional. And for many, many years, when I first got into baseball, I actually put on my business card, Future Baseball General Manager.
Cool.
And I actually still have that somewhere in my office here. But the more and more, and I was a general manager in my previous role, assistant GM for the facility, and then the general manager for the Jupiter Hammerheads. But when you really look at that title, general manager, who wants to be general? And nobody wants to be managed. So
right.
This is not a great title. So we were looking in titles and roles, and I actually came across a Steve Jobs article, and it was like the 5 things you need to do if you want to build something special and build your own company. And I just clicked on there and started reading it. And I believe early number 1 or number 2 is you have to become the chief storyteller. And what he meant is you got to go out and tell the story over and over and over again. Why are you doing this? What's your why? And our why was to bring people together, to be a part of building something special. And we thought Springfield needed it. If you looked over the past 20 plus years, there hasn't been a lot of consistency and stability in the ownership group. So we felt like there was an opportunity to do something different. So Chief Storyteller, have to give credit to the late Steve Jobs. I just, as soon as I read it, I'm like, that's it. And it's, you can't take what you do seriously, but don't take yourself too seriously. And we do that. And I do it all. My wife works here with us. She does it all. We roll the tarp, we roll hot dogs. There's nothing that we're not willing to do as a part of getting things ready and entertaining folks for hopefully 35 sunny nights this year.
Yeah, that's great. So a lot of this has to do with telling your story, but obviously you have to tell it through a certain platform. So social media is probably a big tool that you guys use to share your story. Do you have a marketing team behind the scenes? Are you doing a lot of that marketing on your own, or is it a group of people that are working together to share that message?
Yeah, we have 4 full-time employees. We have 7 members of our ownership group all over the country. But what we do is we have a team that sort of helps together, push things together, meaning we all vet the posting, we talk strategy, we figure it out. But Andrew Miller leads our social media team. My wife, Melissa, who's also her title is Director of Swag and Events. So swag is like the gear, and there's no conventional. Andrew Miller, who would probably be called a general manager, is Emperor of Engagement. So the Emperor of Engagement is in charge of ultimately engaging. And you mentioned social media, and 20 years ago, it was telephones. You pick up the phone, you call everybody. Now
Right.
you have the opportunity to have a 24-hour-a-day dialogue. And that's what social is hey, I want to talk to you. I want to tell you that story. I'm going to tell you what we're doing. And even the most mundane things like getting a new sponsor or going out and delivering pocket schedules, they become worthy of telling folks. And people see us all the time. Oh, I see you guys on social. I know you're here. I know you're there. And I love that because that's such a fun thing to have following. We're about 18,000 followers on our Facebook page, and
Wow.
Instagram growing. Our Twitter's just shy of 4,000. So we're really moving the needle, and that's something I'm proud of, cultivating that following. And the good news is people aren't shy on social to tell you what they want, what they don't want, what they like, what they don't like. And it's a great opportunity for feedback. And we pay a lot of attention to what those are saying. Okay. And
Yeah.
certainly if things are repetitive, there's going to be some of those naysayers that you can't please them no matter what you do.
Right.
But the folks
Right.
that you see the feedback over and over, you start thinking, hey, this is a real opportunity for us to get better and listen to what what our folks are telling us.
Awesome. There's two things there for the business owners listening or business leaders. The first thing that catches my eye is you're trying to do things differently than they're usually done in a baseball team, baseball game, and any business owner or business leader that's trying to gain clientele, trying to get your name out there. So Jamie, I'm in the insurance industry. There's no other industry out there where everybody looks the exact same to the client than insurance. Everybody does the same thing, sounds the same, looks the same, smells the same. So that's, I guess that's part of the reason why we started this podcast, was to provide value in a different way than everybody else is providing value.
Yeah.
So if business owners or listeners to this podcast, just even narrowing it down to their titles for their employees, Chief Storyteller. How many businesses do you go into where there's a title of someone who's a chief storyteller? What was your wife's title? The swag?
Director of swag and events.
Director of swag and events. Tell me another business in Central Illinois that has a director of swag. You're not going to. Right. And then the emperor of engagement. Is that what it was?
That's right.
Okay. If you are sitting, let's say you go to a Chamber of Commerce event. You're standing in the room and you go up to talk to someone you've never met before. And they say, hey, I'm Bob. I'm the CEO of XYZ Bank. And you say, hey, I'm Jamie. I'm the chief storyteller of the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes. Or if someone says, I'm the emperor of engagement. Yeah. They're going to say, what's the emperor of engagement?
It's immediate.
And you've got them hooked from there. Once they ask you what that is, they're hooked. Because now you get to share your story.
Turn the light on. When you turn the light on. So, that interaction that you just described, we all have it. We all go to the events, the after hours, the businesses. And then it's what do you do at that moment? But when you turn the light on and that's it, chief story, what's that? Yeah. You got it. Now the light's on and I'm willing because I'm engaged because I've heard something that's totally different. And, I think that's been so helpful. There's not a day that goes by somebody doesn't say something about the title. And we actually have our own custom baseball cards.
That's awesome.
With the storytellers. So again, even as mundane as the business card, make it into a baseball card, making it fun, making it different. And, I think that's such a great recipe, right? The entire world changed 2020, March of 2020. And I believe in my heart of hearts, to be successful, you have to separate yourself from the rest of the mundane day-to-day. Go out and look at the convenience store, all the selections to buy, right?
Exactly.
When I was a kid, I'm like that old guy now. We had 3 channels and like 4 soft drinks, and now it's like 1,000 channels and 1,000 flavors of different products, and a lot of that is just trying to match up people's needs, and people need insurance, and they don't necessarily need to come to a baseball game, but we try to turn on that light to get them to think, man, this would be fun. We need to do that. We need to take our clients out. We need to take our employees out. Employee retention is huge. We're all struggling with getting quality people and keeping them.
Right.
So the little things that make a difference, how you treat them, we let our employees come up with their own title. We just say it can't be boring. Claire Harris, she was an intern for us last year, and she came back on board here in January, and Claire's not super tall. She's probably about 5'3" or 5'4" maybe, and she's the titan of tickets. So we love it. There comes the Titan, and she's tough as nails, and we love that, and they love it. They love the idea of creating their own title and their own role, and maybe being different than anybody else in the industry.
That's excellent. I love that. Yeah, business owners, go ahead and change your title. I mean, make it different. Instead of being the owner of, XYZ Manufacturing, be the master of manufacturing. Who knows? You just get creative with it. Something different that catches someone's attention that they never would have, thought of you in a way in that way before, I guess you would say. So that's very cool. So speaking of tickets, what's the cost of tickets at a ball game?
So our day game pricing is $10 and $12.
Okay.
And then our group pricing is $2 off of that. So $8 for groups of, we do groups of 10 or more, and then $12 for box seating, what we call satchel seats. Satchel Page worked for the Redbirds. So instead of box seats, we call them satchel seats. And then we have Langford's Landing, who is Ray Langford, a beloved Cardinal. That's what we call general admission or reserved area.
That's great.
$8 for groups, $10 to walk in Langford's Landing, and then $12 for satchel seats.
Perfect. And it looks like a lot of games. Let's see, probably weekend games. A lot of 6:35 start times. Trying to look through a few of these.
We have a lot of Thirsty Thursdays, $2 12-ounce beers and soda, of course, too. So we have all of our games start Monday through Saturday at 6:30. The gates open at 5:30, and then our Sunday times are 5 o'clock. Gates open at 4 o'clock.
Perfect. And just so you all know, I'm looking at shoesbaseball.com, which is the Lucky Horseshoes website. That's shoesbaseball.com. You can find all the schedule, their shop that Jamie was talking about. They're selling merchandise all over the place. You can learn more about the team, the players, everything there as well. So, Jamie, is there anywhere else that they can contact you if they want to learn more about you or about the shoes?
Yeah, all of our social channels are at Shoes Baseball, and then you mentioned shoesbaseball.com. All of our contacts, cell phones are on there. We're accessible. Email, we're right there. All the information is at shoesbaseball.com or our social. Please follow us on social to learn more about what we're doing. Please reach out, call. We'll have a conversation with anybody. We never met anybody we don't like to talk to. So love talking business and love what you guys are doing with this podcast. I love it. It's different and it's fun and it's good for this area and this region. And I think I'm listening to you. I'll probably go back and archive some of these shows now. And
sure. Perfect.
Tidbits on how we can all get better and we can all work together and create, you can have fun. You don't have to be stuffy doing business.
100%.
You can have a good time and you can have fun doing it. And that's our thing is, hey, we want to have a good time and we want other people to have a good time, but also having a good time is having success and filling up the ballpark and selling a bunch of tickets. And that's sort of the culture that we have here. We celebrate that. Somebody gets a new contract, we high-fiving, maybe a couple of toast at the end of the day to thank you for that good work. And it's a great environment. We're super blessed to be here.
Excellent. Well, that's awesome, Jamie. I'm excited. I'm definitely going to make it to a game this summer. For all you listeners out there, I will say, I'll speak on behalf of Garrett. So the Central Illinois Business Leaders Podcast, we will buy 4 tickets. We'll start with 4 tickets. If whoever's listening to this, if you want tickets to a game, send Garrett or I a LinkedIn message or a Facebook message. And we will put your name into a drawing and we'll buy tickets for you and your family to Lucky Horseshoes game of your choosing. So we'll work with you guys on that and get some tickets out to some of our listeners. So
I want to add to that. We'll also give them give them a chance to throw out a first pitch for the game they choose. So we'll throw that in there. So make sure those messages come in. You guys choose the winner. They'll come out. We'll put them out there. Let them throw out a first pitch during that game as well.
Awesome. So you'll get to throw out the first pitch at a Lucky Horseshoes ball game, get free tickets, come out, enjoy some cold beer, warm hot dogs, and some fun baseball. So that's great. And, before we jump off of here, Jamie, I was thinking, so you've got some WWE presence in your ownership, it sounds like, and you got Kyle Farnsworth coming for the throwback game. I feel like there might be some spears or some wrestling moves coming back. One of my favorite memories of Farnsworth, of course, was when he took down the dude from the Reds. So, yeah.
that wasn't even in a viral time, right? It would go
Right.
crazy if that happened today.
Oh man.
But yeah, I would tell you the most surprising thing about Kyle Farnsworth, he's one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. He actually played in the Legends game last year, and he's all yoked up, jacked up, and big, super into fitness these days. And I probably misread him, thinking, oh, he's going to be tough to deal with. Or he was such a nice, great human, so good with fans, and but I definitely think he looks the WWE part. So, but I better say AEW, because we're working with AEW now.
Okay.
So give those guys a follow too. Check in with AEW and what they're doing, some fun promotions.
Great. Well, all you listeners out there, make sure you subscribe to the CIBL podcast on your favorite podcast platform. While you're there, please give us a review. It'd be greatly appreciated. You can also find us on social media, mainly on LinkedIn and Facebook. You can connect with myself and Garrett there personally as well. Until next time, Jamie, you've officially been civilized. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Central Illinois Business Leaders Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/CIBL Podcast. You can also follow us on LinkedIn. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It's the civilized thing to do.